Everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over what I kind of consider the forgotten sets of the Scarlet Violet era. So this is Temporal Forces, Twilight Masquerade, Shrouded Fable, and then Stellar Crown. So yeah, I'm going through my whole Scarlet Violet binder, so check out my playlist on my channel for the earlier ones here, and then I'll be doing the later ones after this, so stay tuned for those. Yeah, so what did I collect for this set? Well, I collected every illustration rare and then most of the special illustration rares. So let's jump into it, check out the artwork, and just chat about them. So yeah, these are some of my favorites from Temporal Forces. So as a reminder, this set came out, I believe it was 2024, like the earlier part. I can't believe it's over 2 years ago. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, these connecting artworks are just so great. Love this artwork, super vibrant, super detailed. These cards are great. So yeah, some of my favorites. And this set also kind of kept the Paradox Pokemon going as well. So there's like ancient and future Pokemon too, but for most of the illustration rares, they're just the normal Pokemon. Grottle here, love it when a middle stage evolution gets some love. This is Oswaldo Cato did this one. And Meryl on the back there is, super cute going through the little field there. Litten, this one's one of my favorites as well. I actually have a graded PSA 9 of this one for my display. Yeah, this one is done by Makuratomi, I think is how you pronounce that. But yeah, just love the Litten there. You can see multiple Litten, and there's even like a picture of a shiny Litten as well. There we go. So yeah, I love this card. Super cool. Yeah, just a really great artwork there. Bronzor here. This is a Sao Sao. Just another random Pokemon getting a great artwork. So you can see it's looking at itself in the mirror there. Just admiring it. So yeah, I love this like kind of in like a treasured antiques kind of area, which is pretty cool. Maybe it's a museum. It's kind of hard to tell, but there are these little plaques. So yeah, maybe it's more like a museum. Yeah, Reuniclus here. This one's done by Atsushi Furusawa, one of my favorite artists. Yeah, great artwork there. Cutie Fly done by Rend. It doesn't have to be a super cool Pokemon to get great artwork. Like this one, Cutie Fly is not the most popular, but you have the classic Rend style where it's really close up, super detailed. So yeah, I love this style of art. Another one here I'll shout out is the Arbok. So 151 Pokemon, and I just love, it's kind of like a graphic style where it has the toucan in there and then the moon. But yeah, this one looks super great as a display as well. And then of course, the Ghastly here, one of the most popular illustration rares from the set. But you have the full evolutionary line on one Pokemon card, so it's really cool. And then of course you have the Meowth up front here, kind of watching this like, I don't know, parade of Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. So yeah, this one's really cool. I love it when they do the full evolution line on a single card. I think that's great. Metagross here. Another like Pokemon at work kind of vibe artwork, which is really cool. Lickitung, another great artwork. And then for this one, so this side over to the left here is Temporal Forces. I'll shout out this Chatot, another like kind of random Pokemon that got a really cool artwork. And a fun little fact on this one, so the top line here is actually, as you can see, like notes on a scale, or what do you call this? It's like the treble clef. So I think the top line is Chatot's Cry. I'll probably edit it in here if I get it. And then the bottom line here is the Pokemon Center theme, where it's like dun 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 dun. So yeah, super cool artwork, just like a fun little Easter egg that it hides in there, since Chatot is kind of, the singing Pokemon. So yeah, and just cool artwork there in general. And then you have the Minccino and the Cinccino. Pokemon Company loves to give these a ton of artworks, but you have like the kind of messy Minccino on the left, and then the like super clean, neat, and tidy Cinccino on the right. So that's fun. Ton of cameos too on the right. You have Mr. Mime, Skitty, Meryl, all sorts of things. So yeah, the illustration rares in Scarlet Violet era are just amazing. So super cool. And then down here you can see we have the Paradox Pokemon. So this is kind of where like, the Temporal Forces gets its name. You have the legendary, or the legendary beasts here. They're Paradox forms, so Gouging Fire, Raging Bolt, Walking Wake. So these are, the Johto beasts getting kind of their Paradox forms. And they're all done by T0, which is another one of my favorite artists. My favorite out of the trio is the Raging Bolt. I think it just looks super cool. I used to have a graded copy of this as well, but it actually looks really cool next to the Raikou from Crown Zenith too. It shares the same kind of color pattern, so I used to have them right next to each other. I might pick this one up again in Japanese. But yeah, super cool card. It's like a prehistoric, dinosaur-looking Raikou. Walking Wake here is kind of like the Velociraptor, which is really cool. So these are all done by T0. This trio here. So yeah, this one's cool in the forest there. And then down here you have the future forms of the Swords of Justice. So you have Iron Boulder, Iron Crown, and then Iron Leaves. And I remember when this set came out, this Iron Crown I think was really playable in the TCG because it was actually really expensive out the gate. Since it's dropped, and I think Raging Bolt is the most popular, but we'll try to get some texture here in the English version. It's a little bit harder, but yeah, still super cool. I love these like almost they're like sci-fi novel graphics, almost like, yeah, I don't know, they remind me of those like covers of sci-fi books. So super cool. Like you have this weird alien kind of like vegetation and rock formations, which I just think is really cool. So yeah, that's what I collected for Temporal Forces. Next we'll go into Twilight Masquerade. And over here, so we're starting with the illustration rares as well. So we have the Pinsir. It's really cool here, kind of like this, super cartoony graphics. And then the Sunflora. This one's one of my favorites, and it's another like not super popular Pokemon, but the artwork is just super great. So it's like they're in the garden, and the scene is looking out the window at them. So I just think it's super cool, and I love the colors, like the blue, and the style of the artwork as well. And Fernape here, another one I'll just quickly shout out. Cramorant. Cramorant's one of my favorite Pokemon. And then we'll go over here. So Growlithe. This one is done by Ghidorah. You'll see I have a spot open here. So once I get the Persian, which is the connecting artwork, I'll probably move the artwork like this so that they actually connect. And I'll put the Persian upside down. So I'll put the Persian there and then like have the Growlithe. So yeah, goals sometime. I think I'm gonna get it in Chinese, we'll see. But yeah, this one's super cool. And then of course the Eevee here. I'm an Eevee collector. But yeah, this one, I think most everybody knows it has all the different forms of Eevee. Like there's Leafeon next to the flowers. There's Sylveon that's kind of like strong against dragon, playing with the dragon. Flareon, Vaporeon with like the water. So all the different forms of Eevee are kind of depicted in this card, which is kind of cool. Tatsugiri down here is another great one. Shout out Uncle Shrimp in Henry's Poker Corner Discord. But yeah, this one's super cool with the graphic style art. Yeah, and then over here, so for the SIRs, we have the Sinistcha, which is really cool. That's kind of like a matcha Pokemon. And then the Greninja here with the Terra Crown. I had it in English, but sold it and actually picked up, I think this is the Chinese version. I think it's simplified Chinese. But yeah, you can see the texture is just really great on these Chinese cards. So I love, when they're Terra Pokemon to get the really cool texture because they're such cool texture Pokemon. And then Blood Moon Ursaluna here. Another great artwork. Yeah, and this set also was based kind of on the the Teal Mask DLC for the Scarlet Violet games. So you'll notice I don't have all of them. I didn't get the Teal Mask and the the other Flame Mask Ogre Pawns. They weren't my favorite artwork, and I was running out of space in this binder, so I just didn't pick them up. But yeah, it's pretty cool that there's an actual theme to the set. I love when they do that theme. Chansey here as well, shout out before we move on. This one's great with the Snorlax, the Psyduck, Ditto, lots of cameos on this one. Cool, let's move on. So Shrouded Fable, this is a specialty set, so it didn't have booster boxes or anything. This is kind of one of the stranger sets. It's kind of like a dark theme, but it came out in the summer of 2024, I believe. But yeah, for this one as well, I collected all the illustration rares. This one's one of my favorite sets for illustration rares. They're just so great. And I actually didn't collect any of the special illustration rares in this set because I wasn't a huge fan of them. But this one, they do have these collection boxes where these actually, these came in. So they're like the SIR pattern where they actually have texture. And these are probably my favorite versions of Greninja and Kingdra that they've done. So yeah, super cool. Just love the art style on these. Kingdra, this one I might like even more than the Greninja. Just super great. Nice texture, and then it's kind of got this Japanese style art as well with the moon in the background, done by Akaji. So yeah, these promos were great. I also have the third promo. There's the King Gambit that's not textured that I have. I had to make it fit on this next page, so I'll go over that in a bit. But yeah, let's go over the illustration rares on this set. So Houndoom here. Super cool. Yeah, just like that dark theme that you can see, kind of on like a chase or something. Horsey's kind of the one that's like a little bit out of place. It's more of like a, lighter theme, but still super cool. And then down here you have this trio of Duskull. So these are actually done by James Turner, which I was a little bit like, oh, who is that? Because it's a more Western name. So I guess he actually worked at Game Freak and helped design a few of the Pokemon from Gen 5, like the Golurk line. So he also did like the pink Pikachu Terra Crown from Ascended Heroes too. So yeah, just really interesting, unique style. Hasn't done a lot of cards, but did a few of these lines. So I thought it was pretty cool. It just got he has a really unique style. And then down here, these are like the Teal Mask DLC kind of villains, that Pecharunt helped. I think these little like mochi things control their minds or something. So it's kind of wild. The lore is pretty cool for the DLC. But yeah, super cool artist. This one's done by T0. Pheasantipity here. And then the Okidogi, done by Akira Gawa. Just smashing through a mountain. So yeah, each of them have like the binding mochis, I believe is what they're called, that Pecharunt kind of controlled their minds with. So yeah, I really like the DLCs from the games too. And then over here we have the Zorua. This one's done by Rend as well, so that kind of like realistic style. Q-Font, I like the Q-Font as well. Persian, awesome artwork, staring through the window. Kind of reminds me of like a Parisian scene or something. But yeah, super cool. And then the Beware, if you know, you know. Cool. And then the next one, this is like right before, kind of the most recent TCG boom, but this is Stellar Crown, another one of the forgotten sets. So yeah, this one, we have the Bulbasaur and the Squirtle that finally completed the kind of like Pidgey illustration rare line that includes the Charmander from Obsidian Flames. So yeah, they're all done by different artists, but similar kind of vibes where there's a Pidgey. So these display really well together. But I separated them for this binder just because I couldn't fit them here. So Bulbasaur, this one is one of my favorites as well. and then the Squirtle, just super duper cool. So yeah, I love those artworks. Ledian as well, done by Hagenosuke. And then the Zeraora here, just kind of like a really cool, I don't know, 80s style. Like a lot of action lines, the lightning there, just really cool. So yeah, the illustration rares on this set are really great. And then next over here, another random Pokemon with great artwork, this Meditite. I actually have a graded version of this one that I have on my display as the chat taught there, but I just love this jungle scene, you know, just super cool environment background for a Pokemon card. So yeah, great artwork. And then Terapagos here. So this is actually, the set introduced Stellar Pokemon for the first time in the TCG. So this is like, Stellar has all the different types of Pokemon on one, and it has like the rainbow borders here. This one's textured, as you can kind of see. But it's pretty cool. I mean, Terapagos is a great Pokemon in the anime, and just really cool lore. I think it's the start of like the Stellar Crowns, or Stellar Terra Crown, where it can use any type there. So yeah, pretty cool. Nice little lore drop. And then the Dachshund here, another cool one. This one's done by Yu Nishida. But yeah, just chilling there with all the desserts. You know, Dachshund is kind of a dessert in itself. I think it's like a braided bread or something. Or, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, really cool. I didn't collect the other SIRs. There's like a Galvantula that kind of just looks like a full art. So I was already running out of space for this binder, so I didn't include it there. King Gambit as well. This is one of the collection box promos, but it's not textured like the Kingdra or the Greninja. And then Noctowl is the ETB promo. And then I also, oh yeah, I forgot. So I do have a few ETB promos that I had to fit for Temporal Forces on the back page here. So the Fluttermane and Iron Thorns I put next to my Paldean Fates set just because there wasn't enough room, so it kind of flows together. And then on this one, you can see kind of a sneak peek for next set, which is Stellar Crown. So I have my magnets on here, which is the Earth Surging Sparks, which is my Surging Sparks ETB promo there. So yeah, those are kind of the sets. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I just hit over 115 subscribers, so thank you everybody who's subscribing. Please consider liking the video. Comment down below too what your favorite card of these was. Mine would probably have to be the Kingdra on this one. But yeah, stay tuned for more. Next is Surging Sparks, and then Prismatic Evolutions. And then we'll go into Journey Together and Destined Rivals last. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and talk to you later.